Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to day number 5 of 30 videos in 30 days. It's a bit of a late one today because, to be honest, I was very tired today and I just wasn't up to filming during the day, and then I had to work this evening. So I'm sorry about the terrible lighting, but I just have to deal with what I've got. But I'm going to do a quick video tonight. A few of you have asked, after seeing my pin curl set and my hot roller set, for me to do a sponge roller set tutorial. So I'm going to do that tonight. I'm going to show you how I set my hair, and then tomorrow I will upload the video of the brush out in daylight, so the lighting will be much better. But the principles are very similar to the principles for my hot roller set tutorial, which I will link up here. So you can go and check that out if you want kind of my main tips and tricks, but essentially it's the same, but I am going to show you a slightly different setting pattern tonight. Someone asked a question today on how to do old Hollywood style waves. So this is kind of the first step in that, but I will actually upload a proper video about that, but that'll be down the track a little bit because I don't have long hair. So it's going to be very hard to demonstrate that because the concept is very similar to the Marilyn do, but I have reasonably short hair, whereas the question was about really long hair, and it's very hard for me to demonstrate that on my hair. So this is kind of the start of that. So anyway, without further ado, I'm going to get stuck into it. So I'm going to start by separating the hair. I kind of go with my natural part line just at the side here. You see where I've got like a natural peak there. Split it off to the side. So you know, I am working on quite damp hair. Like I've put quite a lot of water into it, and I have put the OUAI mousse through it. You can also use a setting lotion. I would recommend you use a setting lotion rather than a mousse. It's just that I have to work with what I've got at the moment. So I'm gonna section off this front section of my hair down to behind my ear, as I've done in many of my other videos, and then I'm gonna tie off this back section of my hair so it doesn't get in the way. And then I'm going to separate it out, curling forward towards the front. So this is a little bit of a different setting pattern than you have seen me do before. And this is again from one of my vintage books. I would highly recommend, whenever you see vintage books, like there's not much point me recommending the ones that I've got or that I've got my hands on, because you won't be able to get them. It's just a matter of like when you spot them at vintage stores, getting them, having a flip through them. If they look good and they've got good tips in it, grab it and run with it. So that's where I've got most of my information from, or like blogs and things where they've uploaded posts of like books that they've got. But I take a section of hair that is quite thick. You can make it thicker than what you make it with pin curls, because the sponge roller is really quite fat. Like if you look at a sponge roller, the lighting is so bad, I'm so sorry, but if you look at a sponge roller, like it's quite big, and because you've got all of this airy space, it will dry better than a pin curl will, because it's got the sponge roller letting air into your hair. Now I'm going to use just my medium and my large rollers for this, and I don't need that many of them. I haven't taken them out yet, so I'm just like throwing them on the floor. Oh yeah. It's my medium sized one. Undo the clip. And like I said in my previous video, my hot roller video, you want to take the ends, wrap them around, yeah, like this, and make sure they're tucked into the end of your curl. You can always get, some of this is deciding to fall out, which is really annoying, but you can always get your comb, the end of your rat tail, and then stick it inside curl to like use it to flick your hair inward. That works really well. And then you just roll from the tip to the base of the hair, and then flip your clip over. It's as easy as that. It's pretty straightforward, guys. Like sponge rolling is easy peasy compared to a lot of others. So I'm just doing my separations quite big, so I'm only gonna have 3 at the front here. Oops. Just a big chunk there. As I say, see, compared to what I would put into my pin curl or even my hot roller, it is quite a bit bigger. The difference with this setting pattern is you are going to roll each roller in the opposite direction. This is going to be a pain in my bum. So it's going to have to catch those bits after. So curl it in and roll in the opposite direction to your last roller. Okay, this is what's going to give you those beautiful waves in your hair. And then catch those bits that fell out just before. Make sure they don't escape your set. Don't want any stragglers left at the end. That's it. Roll her around and clip her into place. And my last section of hair is again going to go in the opposite direction, so it's going to come back. It's going to come back under. So we've gone under, backwards, and then under again. Roll her on in. Roll her in, fellas. And then you want to keep your pattern the same. So we're going to roll these ones down toward the face as well. I'm going diagonally so the curls come toward my face. I'm going to go like this, yeah? And then roll down and in. You'll see tomorrow when I do the brush out how it makes no difference. The difference isn't huge, but it just makes it easier to coax your hair in certain directions when you're doing your brush out. So once again, I'm going to curl under with this one. So tuck those ends in. That actually went pretty well. Oh no, they're trying to escape. And roll her on in and under. And clip her on down. And then this one is going to go the opposite way, so we're going to roll upwards. There we go, so it's the front section done. Under, up, under, under, up. So when you brush it out, it will end up getting the waves like so. Then when you do it at the back, you want to separate like I did for my Marilyn do. So you're going to do this first row, but I'm going to kind of separate in sections like this, then this, then this. So rather than going across my hair like this, I'm going to just go down the back of my head like that. So I'm going to separate like so. And then I will split this section into 3 different parts. And again, this section is quite a bit thicker than what I did for my pink curls. So come to the side, you'll see that it's quite a bit thicker. When I say it's a bit thicker, like it's probably only 3 to 4 centimeters. It's still not super deep, but it's just not that very small kind of 2 centimeter width that we were working with for pink curls. And brush her up. We're going to roll this first row downwards to give us that lift and body at the back. You don't want to roll these ones upwards or you'll end up with a weird kink at the top of your head. I'm using my big ones here rather than my medium ones. Separating again, I'm going to separate a kind of whitish section. You can see I've got a lot less curlers in my hair than I did when I was doing both my hot set and particularly my pink curl set. So this time we're going to go upward, and again I'm using my big rollers. Yes, I've got 3 left, so that's good. I was a little bit worried then. It is a little bit easier to do a setting pattern like this with a pink curl set because sponge rollers are not really designed to go the opposite direction, or just kind of designed to go under, but you know, they're easier than pink curls, so I like to mix and match my beauty tips from the 40s with different tools. I feel like we've returned to the old days of videos that I used to shoot where you like couldn't see anything, which is why I went into such detail, and then everyone said they liked my tutorials because I went into such detail. It was really because I was worried you couldn't see what the heck I was doing. But yeah. And then I've only got 1 row left, guys. There's only going to be 3 rows in the back. Keeping it pretty simple. That's what the back looks like. And then again, I'm just going to split it into 3, and I'm going to go back to my medium roller for this. And I'm just rolling under. Simple as that. Sponge rollers really is the easiest set. Like hot rollers, I would say, is more difficult and more time consuming than a sponge roller set, because a sponge roller set you sleep in, so, or you can just put it in and then leave it during the day for a few hours, but I find my hair sometimes comes out and it's not dry, so I always sleep in my sponge rollers, just to be safe, because there's nothing worse than spending all that time on setting your hair and then finding that it's wet and it just ruins your set. That just sucks. So So the biggest tips, as I've said, are make sure your ends are tucked in, the same as my hot roller set. Make sure no ends are sticking out of that curler. They should all be tucked inside and curled on in and not kinked. That's what it's going to give you, a nice, beautiful, sleek curl. And finito. Doesn't have to be beautiful and perfect. Just whacking them in there. As long as you've gone under, upwards, you're going to get an S wave in your hair when you pull it out, and then stick a scarf on. And this is just to protect your hair while you're sleeping so you don't end up making any of your hair frizzy, because that would be disastrous. No one wants a frizzy set. Okay guys, that's it from me tonight. I kind of wish I could have shot in here, but this is my hallway and there's just nowhere near enough space to do that, but the lighting is so much better. But c'est la vie. Hopefully you could see what I was trying to do there. But I will see you tomorrow for the brush out. Basically what you need to remember with this video is that you want to tuck your ends in exactly the same as the hot roller set and the pin curl set. So make sure your ends are on the inside of your curl so you get a nice smooth tight curl. You can add a bit of extra hair into your sponge roller set because with the sponge it allows air to circulate better than it would with a pin curl set or with a hot roller set, because the hot rollers are solid. And thirdly, if you make sure you go the opposite way each time you put a roller in, then you will get that S-wave set. Just remember each roll is going the same way. So that row there was all going under, then the row underneath is going upwards so that you get a consistent wave throughout the hair once you do the brush out. But that's basically it for the tips and tricks. I mean, the sets are pretty similar, using slightly different tools, but the rules, there's only a couple of them that change each time. And in general, you can use most of your vintage sets that you'll find in books and things with every curling tool that you use. Just be aware of how much hair you really need to put in. That's the main difference. But in terms of always rolling onto the root, tucking your ends in, stuff like that is always the same no matter what tool that you're using. So I hope you liked this video, guys. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you tomorrow for the brush out video and day number 6 in the 30 videos in 30 days challenge. Thanks guys, bye!